thought I'd share a little story with you. On my 8th birthday, I received a fantastic birthday present. Her name is Waja. I think you've seen her on the stage. She's my baby sister. She was born on my 8th birthday. So as you can imagine, as an 8-year-old, I was thrilled. You know, I had a brother. I have a brother. You've eaten his food. And it's just not the same as when you have your own little sister and you can, do her hair and all these things. So I was very excited to have all these things in common with her. And then I was bragging in school, my sister, she was born on my birthday. Oh my God, I'm so happy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And some loudmouth boy looked me dead in the face and he said, your parents have done bad manners 3 times. That is why, you guys, you're 3 kids. I was so embarrassed. You know that? The kahit that runs up your spine and then you just feel hot and sweaty. So I was like, Allah, bad manners. My mom and my dad, does that mean we're bad people? Am I a bad person? Do we do bad things? So I go home a few days later and I ask my mom, Mom, I was told that you did bad manners 3 times and then that's why we are 3 children. Is it true? And even then I was shaking. I still remember where we were sitting in the living room and how I was kind of looking at her from the corner of my eye. And then she's like, Shiko, 3 times for who? Sex is amazing. Your father and I do it all the time. My whole body stopped. I was like, what? First of all, I was told it's bad manners. Then how you guys are doing it all the time? What is this thing? So she launched into my first sex education talk. She told me all about intercourse and what it entails and everything. And then she was like, when you're an adult, you will have a car, you will have a job, you'll have a house, and if you want children, you will also do bad manners, but it will feel good, and you'll have your kids. So it was a groundbreaking moment in my relationship with my mother. It showed me that I can come to my mom with all kinds of bizarre questions, and it won't move her world much, but she will tell me the truth. So she further emphasized herself as an authority in my life. So later on, when I was a teenager, we moved to Limuru, and we joined Limuru Country Club. So we were there quite a bit. But I was very uncomfortable in the club. The men in the club used to hit on me. And not just like my peers, like 14, 15-year-olds who I knew what to do with, but like the waiter, the wochi, my dad's random friends, some 45, 50-year-old guys. So I'd be following my brother around, and my mom was like, this is not cool. Like, what's going on with you? You're usually so confident and out there. So she asked me, why don't you want to go to the club? So I told her the truth. I said, these guys, they're hitting on me. And she told me in Kikuyu, marume, which means insult them. And I was like, am I being given carte blanche? I can just tukana all these old guys. What? And she was like, no, seriously, insult them, speak badly, be rude, be obnoxious. And then she was like, I want to see. So she actually had me role play with her. I was like, Dikweda, don't talk to me, I don't want whatever. And it gave me so much permission and so much freedom around men from then until now. And maybe I've ringered too much, I'm still single. But she really set me off on a path where, we tell girls you should say no, but we don't really tell them how. So my mom actually modeled it for me. I think she's taken the sex conversation a bit too far. I had my son at 37. We're having a meal. She's across the dining table from me. My son is in the kaka seat on top of the table so we can see him. And then, so I mentioned, hey, Mom, my period came back after giving birth. She's like, you can get pregnant now. I'm like, Mom, have you met your grandson? I think I know where children come from now. But, so this was my mom, consistently. She's still alive. She should have been here tonight, but she can't make it. But she actually told me, sex education consistently throughout life. It wasn't a one-off conversation. I look at headlines now regarding teen pregnancy, regarding HIV, which is twice what it is in women as it is in men. We have an 8% prevalence in women, 4% in men. Are you a woman, 18 to 24? Hand up. 18 to 24. We don't have an 18 to 20. Are you a married woman? Hands up if you're married. These are the 2 demographics that are most at risk for HIV infection. So the sex education conversation cannot end. It shouldn't end. It's something that we should be talking about throughout life. But African parents, we're embarrassed. We want sexual distance from our kids. You don't want to tell your child something, then she looks at you and says, so mom, do you masturbate? How often are you having sex? You know, we don't want those questions from our kids. So the reason we don't have the conversations is because we're embarrassed. It's bizarre. Really, nobody had it with us because, nobody had it with us, so we don't really know the information to pass on. So I have created a course. It's called Kids and Bodies. It's available zydii.com. And it's a 5-part course. I cover from 0 to 5, what you should tell your child at that age, 6 to 9, what you should tell your child then, and then the tweens, as we call them, 10, 11, and 12, and then teenagers, and then early adulthood. Because there's so many questions that come up. Just the other day, I was talking to my brother, and I was telling him about the course, and he's like, yeah, my kids are 0 to 5. What sex are we talking about? And I was like, do they know the names of their body parts? Does your son know that he has a penis? Will your daughter know that she has a vulva? We say vagina, but that's actually inaccurate. The vagina is a tube inside the body. So maybe you don't tell your 5-year-old that the vagina is a tube inside the body, but when you're telling her to clean herself or that kind of thing, she should be able to say, this is my vulva, so that if someone touches her, she can say, somebody touched me here. She should be able to say, don't touch me. She should be able to understand when other people say, don't touch me, it means you respect that boundary and you respect what it means. So there are all kinds of questions, and the internet is bringing up all kinds of questions. They're covered in the course. But this is not a sales pitch. This is not the point of the conversation. I want to leave you with something. When it comes to bodies and sex and sexuality, we all need a perspective. You can have a Muslim perspective, you can have a Hindu perspective, a Christian perspective, or whatever perspective it is that you want your child to have. If you don't deliver that perspective, if you don't give them those goggles, the world will. Advertising will convince your daughter that her naked body will sell anything. Slay queens will convince your daughter and your son all manner of things. So it's up to you as parents to give them this gift of goggles that you design for them, that you create for them, that you pass on with them, that you pass on to them, because they will have them for life. So ensure that they finish their childhood well and give them these sex goggles. So think about what that means to you and then pass it on to your kids. Asanteni.